about right. With Derrick Rose, you're 2 years out from free agency. It's not like, you're a free agent going into next year, with this supposed super free agent class, coming up. You are a free agent in 2017. It's one thing to allude to it, but it's another thing, just to be, you get to feed your family, Latrell Sprewell speech and all that mess. I'm just like, it's just not called for. Focus on this season. I'm like, Derrick Rose, just play one season, where you can get back to maybe the player that you were. Focus on that. Focus on being a great player. If you focus on being a great player, the money and all of that will come. If you're strictly playing for the money, that's when everything just kind of goes left. You look, it's plenty of examples in sports where that happened, where, I'm taking the money, I'm taking the highest deal, and everything like that. And I'm not saying don't get paid. I'm not saying don't think about, providing for your family and providing, a financial legacy and things like that. But when you start just strictly for the money and nothing else, man, it usually doesn't end up well. You can point to multiple sports where this happened, and Derrick Rose just needs to concentrate on being healthy, going out there playing, and getting back to the player that he once was. That's all he should be focused on, at least with the game.
Yeah, exactly. You're going into training camp, and the biggest story is not the fact of the Bulls being this close to catching Cleveland and Miami and those teams in the East.
Not the high-octane offense. There's a lot of things that you could be talking about with Chicago, and that's not the story right now.
Yeah, and it's about as bad, as Mark's boy, Allen Iverson, saying the word practice. Zach, being in locker rooms on a regular basis, you see, you cover the Magic, but you also see how other players act. With guys with big egos. I'm assuming now that Derrick Rose is now looked upon as a guy with a humongous ego because this is what you're looking at right now.
How can you not take those comments that way?
How do you not take the comments that way? Zach, would you want this guy as your teammate right now? Would you really worry about the teammate factor right now with him?
Yeah, I think I'd worry about it a little bit because that's going to hurt the chemistry. That team has some chemistry. Rose played, I think, 51 games last year plus another 12 in the playoffs.
Didn't look fully healthy.
Exactly. And, he's missing this important time to gel with guys. And like I said before, they're learning a whole new system. We don't know what Fred Hoiberg's going to run.
That's true.
So I think, it's an issue, obviously, because it's going to hurt some of the chemistry in the locker room. And I think more importantly, it's going to hurt the on-court product that the Bulls put out there, especially early in the season. Because I put this kind of towards what happened with the Magic last year was, they brought in Channing Frye, and Channing Frye got hurt, second day of practice, missed all of training camp, came back, and just was never himself. He struggled all season. He didn't look comfortable in the offense, and they weren't able to find his spots that he was good from. Sure, he had the second best shooting percentage from three last season of his career, but for the most part, he was terrible.
Right. He had a good game here or there, but
that's what I think the Bulls are going to lack, especially because, look, if Rose ends up missing about 4 weeks, like most players have. I mean, Mike Conley had the injury last year during the playoffs, and he came back after like a game. But of course, a lot different circumstances from the beginning of the season to the playoffs.
Right.
That's going to take time, and we're going to talk more about the Eastern Conference later. But I think as a whole, the Eastern Conference is better this year, and that could end up hurting the Bulls because if they get off to like a 12-8 start through 20 games, I mean, they could be looking because you've got Washington ahead of them, probably Miami, Cleveland, Toronto, even. I mean, you could be looking at a 4, 5, 6 seed for them. Gives them a really tough matchup in the first round, and they're gone.
Yep.
So I think that's the big thing for them this season.
Now, Mark, I'm going to run this to you. I'm going to read this quote to you. Taj Gibson, when they asked about the injury, said he got a little elbow. I don't know the severity of it, but hopefully he'll be fine. Assuming those comments are from Taj Gibson, I'm assuming this is the guy who landed the elbow. Ironically, it's the guy that they're trying to trade and a guy that we don't know if he's going to be around very much longer. Now, Mark, I mean, street ball Philly, you make the comments. Do you think Taj might have had something out for Derrick Rose on this one? Just Just throwing it out there.
I don't know if he has something out, but it definitely was a shot. Like one of these, like, I just gave him a little elbow. I mean, it's nothing major. I mean, like, you should be able to play through that. And if you know anything about Taj Gibson from his time with the Bulls and from USC, this guy plays tough. He swings elbows. He plays hardcore. This is what he does. So I think it was a little bit of a shot at Derrick Rose. Like, come on, man, get tough, man. That wasn't nothing. So that's him.
Paul, before we go to break, what you got to say?
Well, there's something that we kind of skipped over. 2 years ago, Derrick Rose chose to sit out. A lot of his teammates were questioning his decision, questioning his toughness, choosing himself over the team. And I think we just, kind of saw another example of that. So history has a tendency to repeat itself, and I think we just saw it.
I mean, you have the Rose injury now, and then Mike Dunleavy had surgery on Friday, and it's going to be out 8 to 10 weeks as well, too. So the Bulls are not exactly starting 2015 exactly the way they should. We're going to take a quick break, and after the break, our good friend Kristen Ledlow from NBA Inside Stuff is going to be hanging out with the four of us. We're right back on NBA Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELLC.
Big delays eastbound I-4 approaching Fairbanks Avenue. An accident blocking the right lane of traffic causing these backups. You also want to look out for a crash westbound on the 408 at the John Young Parkway near the entrance ramp that may slow you down. Slow traffic eastbound on the 408 between Tampa Avenue and I-4. You want to look out for a wreck John Young Parkway at the Beach Line and University Boulevard just west of Rouse Road, a reported crash. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Tip Line, 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Catherine Davis.
Hey fans, this is Eric Kohler, stadium voice of UCF football. We invite you to tune in to EK Sports every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. as we feature the preferred picks of the week, insured by our good friends at Preferred Benefits Consultants, where it's always fun to pick those games of the week, but never a time to gamble with your health care. Find a Preferred Benefits Consultant at OrlandoHealthExchange.com. That's the letter X, OrlandoHealthExchange.com, and start saving today.
The Open Mic with Mike Bianchi.
We talked about this last year. You would go into sports bars last year when Magic games were on. Sometimes there wouldn't even be a TV in the sports bar with a Magic game on.
That would always make me sad.
Yeah.
I booked gigs last year on Friday nights at a sports bar, wondering where the Magic game was.
Mike Bianchi, weekday mornings at 6 on 740. The Game. Somebody has to wake up that early.
Are you looking for your dream home? Or are you looking to move out of your current home and find the home to start the next chapter of your life? Look no further. Jim Fouquet with Century 21 Rue Realty is your go-to guy to help you with all your needs. Specializing in West Orange County, Lake County, and Ocoee, his goal is to take care of you from the beginning to the end and is not satisfied until the job is complete. Stop by 401 West Colonial Drive, Suite 7, or give him a call, 321-945-6832. Jim Fouquet with Century 21 Rue Realty.
Buying a diamond is one of the hardest things a guy can do.
Meet Keith LeClaire, owner of International Diamond Center.
It's not my job to sell you. My job is to protect you.
And that starts with fair pricing.
We don't play pricing games. We don't mark it up 400% to give you 50% off to make you feel like you got a good deal. We price it straight.
No retail games, no nonsense. Just rock-bottom prices on one of the largest selections of certified diamonds in America.
Most stores are going to be able to show you 3, 4, 5. We can show you hundreds and hundreds of diamonds.
International Diamond Center, the only store in Orlando owned by a major diamond supplier with worldwide connections and enormous buying power. So you can buy like a dealer buys.
I've done all the hard work to bring the best value, the best quality diamond to you direct.
Exquisite diamonds straight from the diamond cutters.
There is no middleman. It's cutter, us, you.
International Diamond Center, Orlando's direct diamond importer and your local diamond expert, with 5 Orlando locations. Online at shopidc.com.
Before you ask her, ask us.
Looking to expand your reach and following in all platforms of media? Need a jumpstart in expanding your brand to all markets across the world? SOFO is here for you. SOFO means something for everyone, and they help expand your business through all platforms of media. Need to grow on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram? Their experienced team expands your brand and puts your business in places you would have never been before. Call SOFO at 407-607-9862 or follow SOFO LLC on Instagram and Twitter.
In many ways, John and Horace Dodge were rock stars long before rock and roll because they were driven by performance. And right now, get the Rockstar treatment with up to $3,000 total cash allowance on Dodge Charger SXT. It delivers extraordinary ride and handling and an available lightning-fast 370 horsepower engine. Plus, get great deals on the bold, expressive style of Dodge Challenger with state-of-the-art technology and mind-blowing performance. Go to Dodge.com to find your local Dodge dealer and discover all the great deals on the hottest Dodge lineup ever. Long live Dodge and rock and roll. Join us now and get up to $3,000 total cash allowance on the Dodge Charger SXT. See your local Dodge dealer for this great offer. Hurry in today. Residency restrictions apply. Take retail delivery by September 30th, 2015. Dodge is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Welcome to Late Night Parents. I'm your host, Ted Hicks. We have a weekly podcast where we sit down and talk with game changers in the sports, technology, education fields. We even do product reviews and giveaways. Why, you ask? Because we're all parents. So if you're ready for an up-close and personal look, then you can check out our podcast. New episodes are available every Thursday. Catch us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. That's Late Night Parents. The site is latenightparents.com.
This is 740 The Game, where Orlando comes to talk football.
We are back on Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFO LLC. I'm your host, Danny Thompson, calling in tonight from Orlando, Florida. 407-916-8255 is the number here in Orlando, and toll-free 800-729-8255. I have the team with me here tonight, Paul Myers, Mark Johnson, and our special guest host tonight, Zach Oliver. And what we're going to bring in right now is one of the most entertaining personalities you're going to find on NBA TV, as well as the host of NBA Inside Stuff, our good friend Kristen Ledlow. Kristen, how you doing?
Yeah, you got to make sure you say co-host. We got to throw Grant Hill in there, the guy that we needed to make the posters pretty.
See, the thing with Grant is that I'm a Carolina guy, so me and Paul are both Carolina fans, so we can't really give the sidekick to a Duke guy.
But there is nobody on the planet that cannot like Grant Hill. Come on now.
You're right about that. I do. I'm an undercover Grant Hill fan, even though he went to Duke.
Kristen, let's go ahead and get into it. The last couple of days you've been in Cleveland, taking care of a lot of things with the Cavs and covering things with the Cavs. So you were there for Media Day yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was a circus. So give us your thoughts on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and can LeBron finally lead this team to a championship?
Yeah, it was a circus, as he said, but the dominating headline is, the mood there is all about a title here. It's going to be a huge disappointment for these guys if there's anything less than an NBA championship in Cleveland this season. Every single one of the guys said it to me while I was there, and I sat down with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love and LeBron James and J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert, and everybody seems to echo that thought, which is that, this year it's our turn to win a championship. They know exactly what it takes to get there, and, in my humble opinion, with a healthy roster, they likely would have won it and would be competing for a back-to-back title now this year. So that's the mood right now in Cleveland. And yes, again, my opinion, though humble, is that they could definitely win one this season.
Right. I actually share the same opinion, Kristen. This is Paul. So now you were around there, and you did kind of mention the injury issues that they suffered. how are the injury updates going on Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, and then the most recent one now is Amon Shumpert. So how are things looking out there with all the injury concerns?
Yeah, the news about Amon Shumpert actually came down yesterday, just as soon as we had actually all left the Cavs media day.
Wow.
So I actually wasn't able to talk to Amon about his injury, but we do know it's going to be, the very beginning of the preseason and potentially into some of the regular season before we see him again. Now, as far as Kyrie and Kevin are both concerned, I asked